What's up, everybody? It's Joe here from Ritual Gaming with another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes podcast, videocast, whatever you call these things. And I'm joined today by a guest from Team Instinct. Why don't you say hello?
Hey, it's me, Atreyu from Team Instinct.
And yeah, Trey, we've recently been playing a lot together. You're in my shard of the Team Instinct sort of hierarchy. How long have you been playing the game, and what got you into it, and a little bit about your Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes past.
Well, I obviously, like everybody else, I grew up watching the movies, and I think one day I needed something to occupy my time for waiting around because I found myself waiting around for appointments and things like that. So I did a search on my phone. I found this game, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and I downloaded it, started playing it, and here I am today.
Cool. And we had planned, so we had a chat before the show that we were going to talk about ships today and what we've been doing with our ships. And then turn on my phone this morning when I wake up, and I see this little message here. Rogue One's Jyn Erso has arrived, available as a reward in the Hero of the Rebellion squad tournament. So yeah, looks like we're going to go off piste today and take a look at these new characters. And
Yeah.
we haven't had much time to look at them. They've just come out in the last hour or so. So this is, the chat boards are alive with speculation and, of course, the grumbling that goes with that because seems to be a lot of characters coming in at the moment. I don't know how you're feeling about there being so many new characters being pumped in all at once. I mean, I guess it's inevitable with a new Star Wars movie coming out, but the way that they're being distributed through tournaments and stuff like that, how's it settling with you?
I mean, I like the new characters. They're great. They offer a lot of different things, stuff that we haven't seen before in the game. So it makes the game evolve. It's not static. It keeps continuing to be a flowing thing. Um, uh, just looking at some of these abilities that I'm looking at seem to be really great. And just, I mean, it's just blowing my mind because I was just thinking about the same thing with, Baze and Shroot. Am I saying that correctly?
I think so, yeah.
Um,
I think we were saying it wrong the last time, but kind of like today, we'd only
yeah,
had a minute or so to kind of get ready for him.
yeah. And then General Kenobi again. He's bringing a lot to the table. So I'm really excited where the game's going. I'm glad I'm playing. I'm glad I'm part of Team Instinct, and I'm just uh, really happy with some of the content that's coming out. It seems to be really good. I know when I first started playing the game, I was really disappointed that some of the iconic characters like a Boba Fett and Darth Maul and some of these other characters that I grew up loving got remod. They weren't that great,
Yeah, a
but
lot of
now
people,
they're
a lot of people. I've heard that from a lot of people. Where, you come into a game like this, and sure, if you're part of a community where that can guide you through building your roster and stuff, then don't go and get Boba Fett. Go and get. I mean, I'm talking a year ago now, but don't go and get Boba Fett. Go and get Genosian Soldier.
yeah,
Ignore like Luke, and go farm yourself Darth
Geo
Sidious or something.
Soldier.
Yeah, yeah, or
Yeah,
some weird characters that you don't even remember from the movies, or weren't even characters from the movies. They were just guys that they mowed down by the hundred
yeah,
minions.
yeah.
Yeah, bit of a weird thing, but it seems like they've dusted off a lot of those old characters, and now when they're adding new characters, they all seem to be like way more overpowered than what was there before them. I mean,
Yeah.
seen a lot of chat about
No,
how every single Rogue One character that's come out so far has been just completely overpowered, or perceived as overpowered.
yeah. Yeah, they do seem like that way, but it just always seems that there is out there some sort of counter that somebody hasn't found that's already in the game that can counter these characters. And I'm excited to see if somebody can figure that out. And I'm not saying I could, but I'm sure that someone at Team Instinct probably could figure it out. But it just like reading some of this stuff, maybe not. I don't know.
Well, let's
Uh,
have a look at Jyn first, because she's obviously the star of the show today. We'll get to the second character later, who's more of again one of those kind of uh, less headliner characters compared to the face of the new movie coming out. Um,
right.
so first ability, the basic attack, deal physical damage to a target enemy with a 40% chance to gain advantage for 2 turns. So gaining advantage on a basic attack. She is listed
Yeah.
as a rebel attacker, so I'm going to imagine she's putting out some damage. Um,
Yeah.
which also, I mean, from what I've been seeing, Chirrut Imwe, I don't even know if I'm saying it right, Chirrut, is doing some serious damage out there at the moment. So here we have another big hitting attacker.
Is he? Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, I think mainly
Um,
because of his interaction with his buffs. People are saying they've seen him do 50k attacks and crazy stuff like this when he's got enough heal over times up. But Jyn here, so her basic attack just seems like a pretty solid attack. You attack, you get advantage. That's always a good thing.
yeah, that is. It's solid, especially for basic to get advantage. And we're just looking at the very basic attack.
That percentage will go up.
Wondering, yeah, exactly.
I've not
I
seen any
wonder.
data mines with the final numbers yet, but I'm imagining what it probably goes to 50-60% chance to gain advantage.
Yeah, that. Yeah, I don't think has there. I can't think in my mind if anything has ever gone above 80. Well, there are 100% turn meters stuff, but
Yeah.
like with Darth Maul. But as far as this kind of thing, I don't know if it goes past maybe 70, 80,
Yeah, and you can
something
get
like
it.
that.
You can get it up further with potency. Uh,
Oh yeah.
when and modding up. Oh, I'm just noticing in the chat. What's up, everyone? We got Richard Danny on here as well at the moment. Hello. We just
Mhm.
got it. We got into talking straight off. I have been neglecting you. Never fear, we love you. What's up, MJ? Okay, so let's. Yeah, I think that's a pretty. There's not much to say about it. Then it's a pretty good attack. If it does good damage, then she'll be good.
Solid basic.
Yep. And then now it gets a little bit more funky. Rebel counter attack. Deal physical damage to all enemies and grant target other ally and grant target.
Oh, so maybe they're doing the ship thing here that you can pick which ally assists,
Yeah, that seems to be the thing. So
or
in
like the Rex thing.
yeah, well no, I think a few of the ships like even Jedi Consular's ship does it, right? Where
Yeah.
you do the assist, but you get to choose who assists. In
Yep.
this case, though, you're not choosing who assists. You're choosing who gets 100% turn meter.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah, so that's as good as an assist, except you get to choose what they do. So it's better than an assist, because an assist, of course, they would just
Yeah.
do their basic attack. Now you get to do an assist where your character does whatever the heck they want. And
Yeah.
and wait, there's more. Whoops. If any critical hits are scored, revive a random rebel ally with 20% max health for each critical hit scored. So you could potentially, if you are using like a Lando type character, and then Lando does a full row of hits, you could revive a character at 100% health.
Yeah.
So let's say
Yep.
your hand goes down, and then you pull off this combo with Jyn and Lando. You could potentially revive Han at 100% health. The stars would have to align in a certain way for that to happen, but it's a possibility. And of course, as a
Yeah.
taunt, more likely the Han goes down than anyone else. So I don't know what this says for AOE teams, other than Lando and Wedge probably just got better.
Yeah. But doesn't Shore take Lando out of the game with his immunity or critical immunity?
Yeah, exactly. So Short Trooper's obviously just got a shot in the arm as well. And I'm
Yeah.
sure there's other characters we're not thinking about right now, because I've had the amount of time since I opened this ability to think about it. But
Yeah.
if you're in the
Yeah.
comments there and you've had some time to mull this over, feel free to throw combination ideas at us, because yeah, we're looking at these stats. We just got on a call together at about 20 minutes ago, and we spent most of that time fiddling around with the stream. So we really haven't had much time to mull this over. So chip in with your ideas. But this looks like a crazy special attack.
Yeah, it does.
So
it really does.
And she's doing an AOE while she does it.
Yeah, it's a new thing. So I can see this transferring over to other tunes, other characters that can do sort of similar things. You can see other characters coming out from the new Star Wars movie, and then also the one next year. When I think I'm just predicting. I think other people are speculating also that we'll see the First Order and then also Resistance characters possibly getting rebooted in the same way that some of these other characters are being rebooted,
Yeah, I think
and then maybe
that
some of
sounds
the
fair. That sounds fair.
yeah
Resistance characters really. I mean, Rey had her day in the sun, but apart from that, Poe had his 15 minutes of fame in the early days of the game. But apart from that,
yeah
Finn and Resistance Trooper and Resistance
Trooper,
Pilot. I
yeah
guess Resistance Pilot had a moment as where she was pretty powerful too. But generally speaking, yeah, there's never been a Resistance team that you really want to use. So that would be an exciting thing. I would like to see more Resistance. And again, I fear for the Empire, which is not something you normally don't worry about their feelings, but
yeah
it just seems to keep piling on these ridiculous rebels, and then you get one decent Empire character. So
yeah
we got the new Tie Fighter, and we got Emperor
Sure Trooper,
Palpatine, of course, who was pretty huge. Emperor Palpatine was game changer, but
yeah
and Shore Trooper, but I don't know. I feel like the rebels are accelerating at a faster pace, and you're still not seeing Empire teams in the arena rankings, that's for sure. But you are seeing pretty
yeah
much full rebel teams up there, almost exclusively. But
yeah
anyway, enough grumbling. Let's get moving. Truncheon Strike. So she's got two specials. Her second one is deal physical damage to a target enemy and remove all turn meter. Is that what it says? So it's going
yep
off the screen. Yep, remove all turn meter. On
yeah
critical hit, stun the target for one turn. So again,
hmm.
it's just
Wow.
I don't see any downside to this. It's just whether
Yeah,
you're too busy using all her other incredible abilities to find the time to use this one.
I'd be interested to find out her base speed.
Yes,
This is going to be she can be a real game changer.
yeah, she's looking very, very powerful here. And we'll get onto her base stats in a sec and hope and take a little look at them. But again, I don't think there's much to say about this. You remove all of their turn meter and potentially stun them. So they go back to 0,
Yeah,
and then the next time they get back to 100, they're still not doing anything. So it looks like
yeah,
potency is going to be important for her. Um, Critical chance and potency seems to be the way with her, because she's relying on these stuns and on her basic attack getting advantage, but at the same time you want to make sure that she gets those crits on her AoE.
You can see her like killing the Rancor in every phase.
Yeah, true. Not that we've been having too much trouble with that, but
Yeah,
wow, the list
I
goes
mean,
on. She has 5 abilities, so go ahead.
yeah. No, into the fray.
Yeah, that's what I was just bringing up. So this is her leader ability. Rebel allies have 20% plus 20% potency. Enemies that suffer debuff during the rebel's allies' turns have a 35% chance to also become exposed for 2 turns. This exposed can't be
Mm,
resisted. So are they just saying don't run her as lead?
wow. Yeah, that man. If you can't resist exposed, why would you not run her as lead?
Yeah, I just
Hmm.
it's just you break the game most likely. I think this
Yeah.
she's looking more and more powerful with every single ability. Of course, and we say this every time a new character comes out. You can look at these stats on paper, and then when they go into play, everything changes. But
Yeah.
something tells me she's not going to be rubbish.
Mm-hmm.
So unresistible expose um, for everyone who got debuffed on the previous turn. So you're going to want to be using those debuffing rebels, of which there aren't that many.
No, is it just um Shroot
Sure, I think
and
Baze does some debuffs, but you're
and
the
Ack?
yeah Akbar doesn't do any debuffs. See, he deals with yours. I'm trying to think. I think he can on his basic. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, maybe this is where it gets interesting, because the rebels, of all the things that they do, I mean, obviously, um, there are ones out there that do debuffs, but they're not known as a team for stacking debuffs. They're more of a team for stacking buffs on
Oh
themselves.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, we're getting from the chat. Wedge does defense down on basic. There's a few there, but I don't think of rebel teams as debuff teams. I think of
No,
them
no,
as
they don't. No, it's where
just
Empire teams do debuffs,
yeah,
and Palp's like, he's like based off of that.
yeah, exactly. So it'd be interesting what kind of builds you would do to sort of optimize the the chances of capitalizing on this skill. But you're getting that 20% boost of potency, so your chance of actually sticking them has just gone up. We're also
Yeah,
getting a minor KC in the chat saying they'll add more Empire for sure. Death Trooper, yeah, I hope so, because
I hope so too.
yeah, as much as I'm excited for all these new Rebel characters, having something else to play with would be nice.
I don't know if you know anything about me, Joe, but I have two twins, and I named one Anakin and one Atreyu.
There you go.
And they're going to be 2 years old on the 23rd of December. And I'm really excited for that. And they love Star Wars. Every time I turn it on, they are enthralled by it. And they're only 2 years, they're not even 2 years old, but they love it.
That's awesome.
Especially when they hear Imperial March.
Okay.
Imperial March. Yeah. They love it.
So they're dark side Anakins. They're they're the scarred up angry ones. I'm sure they're not scarred up. They're 2-year-old. They're probably little cherubs. But in my head, if they're into the Imperial March, then just keep an eye on them.
Yeah. I will.
Atreyu, yeah, no, I was drawn to that as well. Another awesome movie from my past.
Yeah, that was my wife's favorite movie from when she was a little girl. So when we found out the news we were having twin boys, I took Anakin and she took Atreyu. But I came up with that name, Atreyu. She loved it. She agreed, because then she revealed to me that that was her favorite movie when she was a kid.
Oh, nice.
So
that was one of my faves too.
Yep.
I hear those names and I am happy. So that's some cool names there. And your tag within game as well, no less, right?
Yep.
Wow. Well then, you must be very excited for this Christmas, because it's like a double birthday Rogue One combo.
Yeah, exactly. And my wife bought a black Christmas tree. Well, it's plastic, but it's black. And then she put a Kylo Ren helmet on top as the christening angel.
Oh, I like it. Wow, so it's a real Star Wars household this Christmas. I'm kind of jealous. I've got like just boring old traditional stuff. I gotta throw a stormtrooper in my Christmas tree or something. All right, well, Jyn's final piece of her puzzle is fierce determination. It's her unique, and she gains potency every time she scores a critical hit. So she's got this accumulating potency pool, which is, well, we were just saying that we're going to need a potency for her to stick her basics and her special attacks. So you're going to want to protect her so she gets more and more powerful as the game goes on.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to guess based on this that her health pool is going to she's going to be squishy. Otherwise, she's got too many tools and too many buffs for being alive that it can't make her overly tanky. I'm going to imagine a kind of Ray-esque pool of health.
Yeah.
But I guess she's just going to be getting more potent as she crits.
It's going to make getting Baze and Shrut Inouye really vital to keep her alive.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. Because otherwise, you've got to look out a faction for similar tools, and they won't be as effective. Obviously, Han can do the taunting role, but Stormtrooper Han, just evergreen. He's just going to continue to be strong.
Yep.
But yeah, I agree. If you got Baze, Chirrut, if you've basically got the Rogue One squad, you're probably doing pretty well for yourself. Which brings me to my next question. She's going into a tournament. And personally, I am sick to death of these tournaments. I don't know about you.
They're not very convenient. I mean, it's not that I love to play the game, and I love to I love to strategize and theory craft against other teams that are out there and look at their mods and see if my mods can beat them. But I just don't have the time in my day to sit down and hash out all these attacks. Even if
Exactly.
I did have a million ally points, I just don't have the time in my day to do these sort of attacks. I'm a
Yeah.
member of the United States military, and and I am a father, and I have a life, and I just don't have the time to do. And more power to the people that can do these things. They're to be commended, I guess, if they can. And I don't wish them any ill will, but I just don't. I don't have the time.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. That's what I mean when I say sick to death. I just mean frustrated because
Yeah.
I would love to compete. I've got the ally points. I went into the Darth Vader Tie Fighter tournament with a good 200 or so K ally points, thinking I can at least maybe push top 50. I'm probably not going to compete with the whales with that kind of pool of ally points, but I just ran out of time. I came in the top 100, and that took.
Yeah.
I had to sit down for 3 hours each day just running arena battle after arena battle after arena battle, and it's just too much. They have released a new scaling of the ally point costs. I think that's one way they could deal with it. Just make it all more expensive, so everyone is pinned back and you have to do less battles. I think that's one way they can deal with it. Because it's just the sheer
Yeah.
quantity of battles at the moment. The gameplay's fun. It's still the game that I like. The new characters I really want, and I know I'm going to get beaten out by a whale, and that's the way that life should be because they've earned it. Um, but I just don't want to do 500 arena battles to even take my sort of rightful place in the sort of upper, the lower end of the upper
Yeah.
part of the table, if you know what I mean, where a player of my kind of power should be. I just don't have the time to do it, so I wind up languishing down the bottom.
Yeah. So for the last tournament, A had I think 6,020K ally points, and I thought it was good because from what every all the other leaders at Team Instinct said, if you had 500 was the minimum, 500K was the minimum.
To compete
So
for sort
I
of
thought,
top 10
okay,
position.
yeah, no, to go for one,
To go for one. Okay,
to
yeah,
go
I
for
remember you saying you were really gunning for that for Vader's Tie Fighter.
Y- yes, I was, and then I got into a tournament, and Dragon's Blood from one of the other guilds was in the same shard as me, and he told me that he had a million ally points. So I was like, oh, okay, well, hey, more power to you, man. I'm just gonna hold back, maybe shoot for two, maybe not. I don't know. But then it just got to be too. It got to be like such a grind and so time consuming, and there were some things going on at work at where I work at. So yeah, those kind of things interfere. Like I don't have the time to just sit and play the game. And unfortunately, I messaged Dragon's Blood, and he informed me that there was a guy which he had a really weak roster, and the cheating thing came into play because this guy's roster was nothing near like even my roster. It was like
Mm.
really below subpar, and he moved past Dragon's Blood, and he's got like this awesome roster. He's a really huge gamer. Yeah, and he just moved past him while Dragon's Blood was. He had a lot of meetings and stuff. So yeah, work gets in the way, even in when it comes to whales and stuff. So you can move past people because these tourneys, they're such a grind. They are.
Yeah,
I wish they
that's
would change it up.
yeah, that's what I think they need to lower increase the amount of energy you need to spend, and then just you condense the same concept into just a shorter period of time. Because I think right now it really requires an unfair amount of time, especially you know I hate to bring it down to this is a mobile game, but it is, and like you said at the beginning of the show, you downloaded it because you've been waiting for appointments or whatever, and you wanted to do some Star Wars fun, not because you wanted to sit down on your couch and grind for 5 hours per day to get shards of a character. I will
Yeah,
presume
no,
that's so. Anyway, before we get too negative, there is a character that I'm very excited about because if you've been watching the channel for any period of time, you know that I love droids. And
yeah.
we've got K-2SO coming in from Rogue One, a light side droid. Let's go take a little look at him, her, it, because this is definitely something that's piqued my interest. And I'm not so.
Yeah,
And
would he have synergy with the rest of your droid team?
well, that's yes, definitely, and that's the thing that I'm really excited about. Where is he? He's very hard to find on this menu. So here he is, K2SO.
Hmm.
And his basic attack: deal physical damage to target enemy with 40% chance to inflict offense down. So we like offense down. That's good.
Yep,
I'm
that's a
guessing that. Um,
great basic.
yeah, I'm guessing that percentage will go up.
Yep.
Um, so, and I do like that he just punches them in the face. He's a druid, but he's gonna run it.
Yeah,
He's just gonna punch him in the face because
that
that's
is
how they designed
awesome.
their droids. You can fly, you can shoot lasers, but no, this guy's gonna punch you in the face. But yeah, I don't think there's much to say about that other than it seems like a nice solid. Depending on the damage it does, again, this is all going to be damage
Do you
related.
notice that these basics on these new characters are just way better than everybody else's basics that the original characters that came out. They're just adding so much to the basic.
Yeah, there's definitely a power creep at play, and they will have to retrospectively address that because the amount of time it takes you to get a character to working level, um, it's really saddening when they become obsolete because
Yeah.
it took you 3 months to get that guy ready, and now they just tell you that everything that comes out is just that much better. That they either have to
Yeah.
continue to crank out a chain of characters, or they can retrospectively go back and make things better. And I
Like a
hope,
Ray.
yeah.
Like
So,
I
right,
can I,
right,
I can see them coming out with a different version of Ray.
yeah, she's definitely fallen off the last few months, and I think she's one I don't have too much sympathy for. She definitely had her day
Yep.
in the more than her day in the sun. She had a good few months in the sun. Um, but yeah, it's more characters like I can't think of any off the top of my head now, but slowly, like even this
Like
droid is going to be
Darth Sidious.
Yep, Darth Sidious. He just fell off the wagon, but he's still a big favorite, and definitely amongst droids. When I look at this guy, and as we go on, I'm gonna have to get rid of someone looking like it's going to be Chief Nebbit, and I took a lot of time building Chief Nebbit just for droids, um,
Mm.
and now he's just gonna be another Jawa sitting in my box doing nothing. But
Do you think he'd be raid worthy?
he's still raid worthy. I mean, he's crucial to the AAT if you want to get big scores on phase 2 with your droids. You need.
Oh no, I'm talking about this
Oh, this
guy, the
guy?
new.
Well, let's go
Yeah,
through his skills. I mean, offense down certainly
yeah.
helps if you're fighting the cannons, that do major damage. I find that when you get their offense down, they really chip away at you much more slowly, and you can just last that many more topples and get that much more damage. Then we go on to his special, and this is where it gets interesting. Um, he's dealing physical damage to a target enemy and dazing them for 2 turns. Um, and we were just chatting before about what exactly is daze. I think a few people still aren't sure what daze is. Daze is like a combination of stun and shock, where they can still act, but they can only do basic abilities. Um, they cannot gain turn meter from any other characters' abilities. They can't do their special abilities or anything like that, and they cannot call assists or anything of that nature. So it basically switches everything off about them apart from their basic attack. And
Yeah.
so that seems pretty big. That's an update that came with ships, but we're now starting to see it creep into some of the core game characters as well.
Yeah, so that days is only, as far as my knowledge goes, it's only AOE to Darth Maul, and then now this character. If I'm wrong, you can correct me.
Yeah, no, I think I think you're right. So it's going to see just how effective. It's going to matter just how effective Daze is. I remember when Palpatine came out and Shock was the thing, and I actually kind of overlooked it. I kind of was more excited about his AOE stun and all of this, but really, the Shock is what puts him over the edge. being
Yeah.
able to shock characters and make them unable to taunt is pretty incredible.
Yep.
Interestingly, this won't switch off things like Royal Guard's auto taunt
Mm-hmm.
in a way that
Oh, Days does not do that?
Days doesn't. No, it
Okay.
they can still. Oh, does it make them immune to buffs? Actually, I may be wrong. No, they're not immune to buffs. Basically, they're immune to turn meter gain, cannot counter, cannot assist, but they're not immune to
Okay.
buffs. So it doesn't switch off things like Royal Guard's auto taunt. But other than that, it's pretty useful thing. And then there's a part that we
Yeah.
were looking at just before that, which is if Cassian Andor is present, he is called to attack. Called to
So
assist.
it's a message to everybody that there's a new character on the rise named Cassian Andor.
And I
Yeah.
think, if I remember correctly, Cassian Andor is the kind. Is that? I'm trying to remember if that's Forrest Whitaker's character from the new movie or the kind of Poe Dameron looking dude from the new movie. Let me look him up.
Not a clue.
He's definitely a Rogue One character. I'm just trying to remember which one he is. I think, off the top of my head, he is the he's the kind of Poe Dameron looking dude. He's just sort of dude with a beard. I don't know much about him. I don't know much about the Rogue One lore and stuff, but you see him there on the posters while I'm getting the subway around town here in Hong Kong. I see his face kind of front and center on those, almost bigger. Oh, we got a bit of a problem with the phone connection there. Almost slightly bigger than Jyn herself on some of the posters. So he's obviously going to be a big character in this new movie. And he's going to be working with droids. Interestingly, this is a light side droid. So
yeah, it's like the first one that's come out. As far as I can tell, is that right?
Yeah,
The
all
first
the
light
all the,
side
all
droid?
the all the other droids are
Dark side.
dark side. So it makes you wonder maybe R2D2
R2D2,
3CPO
yeah.
kind of combo coming along. So I would love to
Yeah.
have a sort of light side droid team, and I'm guessing this Cassian Andor fella is some sort of engineer then, perhaps, because at the moment the only guys who can really tinker with the droids are the Jawas. It would be cool to have some sort of...
Jawa engineer light side droid guy.
Yeah, so interesting. You could have a few droids and a Jawa and a human, working on them. I like the flavor of that. But so his unique ability, whenever K2SO attacks, he has a 45% chance to taunt for one turn, but it's dispelled whenever he takes damage. So it's like a mini taunt.
Yeah.
He just when he attacks, he can go up, and that's kind of powerful, especially if you're calling in assists with things like IG-86. It could be really frustrating for the opponent because they get rid of a taunt and it comes back. And it goes, it's not on a cooldown like Han or like the other taunts like that. It's more of a Royal Guard style. It can be activated at any time, over and over again if you're unlucky. Because there's nothing worse than managing those health bars so you don't slip someone just below 50% and trigger Royal Guard again. And I think this would be a similar thing where it'll be a kind of juggling act to make sure that K2SO doesn't taunt and ruin your Biggs attack or something like that.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. For sure. This taunt dispelled. Yeah.
It's just going to keep popping up again with every assist that he gets and everything like that. And he counters as well, so when he counters, he gives himself taunt.
Yeah.
So that could be...
Yeah.
That'd be really interesting.
It's very interesting. Yeah. Just like you were saying, sort of the anti-100 play here.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, we were talking slightly before the show. It does make me feel a bit sad for IG-100. I've got a maxed out one pretty much, and I've been hanging on to him, and always in this belief that at some point they're going to make him viable, and they just never have. And then they just and here comes a guy who looks a little bit like, it's another droid tank, and it just looks better.
Yeah.
In every single way.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I hard farmed IG-100, but I never geared him up. I just have him at 7 stars and doing nothing.
Yeah.
But just for fun. But
just think about all that Cantina energy. Just
Yeah.
sitting there doing nothing. But
Yep.
anyway, K2SO looks pretty sweet. He's got one last thing. He doesn't have a leader ability, so this is definitely, kind of support droid. And this is his unique. So, as I was saying before, he counters, and it's a pretty high counter chance. It starts at 24.4%, which is maybe,
Oh.
and then it goes up from there, I presume. But it's halved when
Oh.
he's debuffed.
Whoa.
So hopefully this guy's very tanky, he is a tank. He's a droid rebel tank. So interesting that he's a rebel as well.
Yeah.
And he's a countering tank, which we like. It's a countering tank who gives himself taunt every time he counters. Well, not every time, but with a fairly high percentage of making himself taunt when he counters. So I don't know. I think that this guy looks like he's pretty solid.
Yeah. Just like we talked about, I think these new characters that they're coming out with for Rogue One, they're going to be must-haves for everybody. I think that it's clear that the devs have come out and said, these, if you want to be a great player in the game, these players or these tunes are must-haves, and you need to gear them up.
Yeah,
Hopefully they won't be like General Kenobi or some of these other characters that require tons and tons of gear.
Yeah, I presume they will, because gear is the it takes a while to farm a character, right? But really, gear is the impassable barrier that really, because gearing is so important, and as soon as they get up that one more gear level, they just turn into a new character. Like
Yeah.
so many characters are unusable at 10 and OP at 11, and I think that's going to be the same for everyone that comes out. Hopefully he's a bit on the light side. I think a lot of people are going to be focused on other characters like Jyn, like Baze, like Chirrut, and I think hopefully that makes his wing of the tournament, because again, he is going to be in a tournament, and that's the tournament personally I'm going to be going for.
Yeah.
Oh no, hold on.
Yeah.
I take it
I
back.
think everybody's gonna be going for that one.
I take it back. It is not a tournament. I made a mistake. It's an event. Escape
So he
from
might be.
Escape from Jeddah is Rogue One event. So let's take a little bit more information. Form a squad of your strongest characters and battle your way off Jeddah. To help you combat the Imperial forces, K2SO will join your squad for this battle. So it's a new type of event where I guess you get K2SO as a team member in the battle. So that looks like a cool idea. I don't know why. I just presumed because it was here in the events menu that it was another tournament, because we've been having so many lately. So the tournament is for Jyn, and looks like K2SO is going to be somewhat easier to attain. So that's good news.
I presume the same thing. I thought it was gonna be another tournament, but okay. Good.
Maybe this is going to be Emperor Palpatine style. You get a full 7-star if you've got the tunes to be able to pull it off.
Hey, yeah. There you go.
Or maybe it'll just be a spattering of shards, and then he goes into Cantina or something. We'll see. But yeah, that's those two characters pretty much wrapped up. I mean, anyone that really you're going to go out and get?
Man, just like we were talking before, I'm a dark side guy. I like dark side characters or the bad people. So I don't really go out for these rebels and good guys type stuff, but they just seem to be too powerful to ignore.
Yeah,
If
I agree completely. I'm the same. I love my droids. I love my dark side characters. I never bothered getting the Landos and the Hands of the world until it just became very apparent to me that I had no choice.
Yeah.
Because if I wanted to be a competitive player, which I do to a degree, I don't care that much. But if I want to at least continue to get the crystals that I need to just keep up my addiction, you need to rank well in arena, and
Yeah.
there's times where you can't do that with the teams that you would really want to be running, and that's just the way of the game, I suppose.
Yeah. It's the way of the game.
So you didn't blow through too many ability, what is it, ally points to be able to have a roll at Jyn. You didn't blow them all on Darth Vader.
No, I did not. I did not blow them all on Darth Vader. So I have currently, last time I checked, 438K ally points roughly.
Oh, nice.
So between now and yeah, I can accumulate some. Especially after we get off here, we're gonna go hit up some Galactic War.
Yeah.
And
I'm doing it right now in the background.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
But I'm having some problems with the video, so yeah, guys in the chat, apologies for the weird video issues I'm having. We've been having trouble all morning with my screen capture software, just giving me weird errors. Now it's staying stable, but the quality has just taken a huge dive. So apologies for that. But yeah,
no
that's the thing. I really want to work on ships, and ships is what we were going to talk about today, but we didn't because of these new characters. How are you feeling about the fact that not only are they bringing out all these tournaments where you want to be spending your Galactic War points on ally points so you can compete, but they're also, that's the the secondary, apart from the fleet shipments, and of course paying, this is the only place you're going to be getting your ship shards from. Does it feel like while in the meantime the guild store and the cantina have a kind of underwhelming selection of things, and even arena to a lesser degree?
Well, I think for me, the Galactic War stuff, all those characters in there, I have the necessary ones that. So I don't need to farm any characters in there, and the ships that are in there don't interest me. The blueprint ships. I'd rather have ally points versus blueprint ships.
Okay, so for me it's the absolute opposite, because I'm playing ships free to play, and these are the only ships I can get. So I kind of if I want to stay competitive in ships, I have to buy my ship shards. But if I want to get these new characters, I should really be buying ally points. And then I'm the same boat as you with the characters. I've got everything I need out of there. I won't be dipping back into characters anytime soon. But yeah, it seems like all of the resources are piled up here in Galactic War, and then there's the fleet shipments, which are fine. They're all off on their own over there. But then meanwhile we got Mace and that prestige added to Arena.
Yeah.
And then we got just a little bit of ship currency added to Cantina, which hasn't had an update in God knows how long. It's been pretty stagnant. And then meanwhile, they pile up all of the valuable resources under one place. I mean, we're going to get enhancement droids, which I don't have enough shipbuilding materials to make any use of. And then there's shipbuilding materials which come out at such a rate that I don't think they're worth paying for with Cantina currency. It'll be interesting to see. It's going to hit it. That's the bottleneck for me anyway. I don't know how you're feeling about it.
Well, one tip I know is that the currency, if you have accumulated a lot of Cantina, whatever tokens, I think it is the orange ones, the currency that you buy the whatever shipbuilding materials changes. I think it's from 84K to 42. I think it's like
I've noticed that sometimes it's high, sometimes it's low, but the cost the cost scales with it, right?
Yeah, the cost is the same.
Is it always 200?
Yeah, it's always the same. Yeah, so don't buy the 42, buy the 80 whatever.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's something I've started doing. I have stopped farming all of the tunes in the cantina, so I don't need to do any of that. So I have like 29,000 Cantina tokens, roughly. Yeah.
Nice. Well, I have 200, as people watching the stream would have just seen. So we're obviously coming
Huh.
from very different places resource-wise. Question in the chat: do you think you should save ally points for a character that you would like, or should I just try to get them all? That's really the question. I think it's unfeasible to just get them all, um, because there's just so many and they keep bringing more.
Yeah.
So I think it's a tough one. I personally am just saving for the ones that I like. I had a little bit of a role at the Vader tournament because I like Darth Vader and I would like to have his ship. But apart from that, I kind of ignored Shore Trooper. I kind of partly because I didn't really care, and partly because I just didn't have the time at the time that tournament was taking place. Whereas, just so happened for Vader's tournament, I had a bit more free time at that particular point in
Yeah.
my life. How about you? You were saying before that you think these characters, and the devs themselves have said these characters are kind of crucial.
Yeah. They are crucial. But also, how, I wanted to get your opinion. Did you like? You said you went for Vader's tie,
Yeah,
or did? Yeah. Okay. How do you like that?
I didn't get it because I just
Oh, I'm sorry.
ran out
Okay.
of juice.
Okay. Because I did, and I kind of like disappointed.
Oh, so how's your experience of using it?
So I have it at 4 stars only, but it seems to get the "I have you now" ability seems to get resisted very frequently.
Okay, and what's that ability in? Could you run it through us? I'm in a game, so I can't get it up on screen.
Let's see. Pull it up right now. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm currently getting my rear handed to me in a ship's battle, and my screen has disconnected again. Sorry to everyone in the chat. We've been having serious trouble with the screen capture software today. It is just having a bad day, as you can see from the big dead screen on my
Yeah.
on the stream right now. It just refuses to connect, and I don't know what's causing it. It might be a faulty cable. It might be any number of things. But I'm trying to get it back online now, so you can watch me lose. Should kick
Uh,
back in.
I have the description now.
Okay, sure.
So Vader's "I have you now" ability says inflict evasion down and ability block on target enemy for 2 turns, and then gain 15% turn meter for each debuff on that enemy.
And
Target lock, dis, dispel all buffs, and remove 100% turn meter.
are you finding that you don't get as much turn meter as you thought you should?
I find that some of it gets resisted all the time. It's like all the time, unless I bring him in on my, because I run Executrix. Is that the
Yep,
right way to say that?
Executrix. Yeah, the
Yeah, Grand
Grand
Moff
Moff
Tarkin.
Tarkin's ship.
Right. So I run him, and so anytime you run a reinforcement in there, he gets a potency up. So that's the only time it really sticks, when I run him as a reinforcement. So far.
Yeah, well, it's an interesting one. I would like to try him out, but unfortunately, I haven't had the chance. I came in I forget what rank I came, but I have a number of shards, but not enough to unlock the ship. Um,
Mm.
I had a little go at it, and then I realized I wasn't going to get there, and then I had some work stuff that took me away from the game for a bit, and then I decided I'd save for the next tournament whenever that should come around, and it looks like it's coming in about 8 days. So that should be good.
8 days.
Is that it? I'm actually just gonna quit this battle because I'm gonna lose, and I can go and actually find out that information. My
Yeah.
ships are really struggling because I don't have the resources, but luckily my shard is quite delicate. I can still hang out I can get top 10 some days. It's in 9 days, 22 hours, so really 10 days. So they're really teasing us. But the K2SO event comes in 5 days. So that should be a lot of fun. Got a comment. Yeah, all the ships seem to get resisted way more than they should, says Jonathan in the chat. Yeah, I agree. I use the Dae's ability with Resistance Pilot, and I find that it's about a 50% chance that it doesn't just get resisted and nothing happens. It's a whole waste of a turn. Which in ships, a turn is very important. I mean, a turn is important in every single way, but yeah, it's a tough one. I don't know if that's a bug or it starts in 5 hours. I'm misreading the air. That's your point. Thank you, Jonathan. The K2SO event starts in 5 hours. Starts later this afternoon.
Oh wow!
Yeah, sorry.
Really?
I just, my brain just failed to register that. You're right. 5 hours, 55 minutes.
Well, I've been having some cocktails, so I didn't read that part.
Yeah, well, I just woke up and I am in desperate need of a coffee, so I will definitely be indulging in that. And I may well post a little video, maybe stream live from it when it goes live. But hey, we're approaching an hour, and I think we've pretty much looked at Jyn and K2SO as much as we're going to in one day. I'm reluctant to get too far into ships because that's a whole new can of worms to open. But thanks for coming on the stream today, Atreyu. And
well, thank you.
Good luck with those.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for you and Whiteroom and all the other officers at Omega for adding me, and I'm really proud to be part of the team. It means a lot to me, and I feel really just blessed to be part of you guys.
Yeah, it's really cool to have this new team building, and some really cool new guys like yourself have joined in, and it's been fun to stick around with guys like Whiteroom, who we've been playing with for over a year now, but also cool to meet new people as people come and go from the game for their own reasons. So yeah, I'm glad to have you on board, and we'll look forward to some more tournament whinging in the in the team chat and all of that in the future.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right, well, that's it for today. Good luck with these new characters when they come out. I'm certainly going to be taking a look at the chances of getting myself a Jyn, and I am most certainly going to be getting myself a K2SO however I can, short of burning my credit card. And yeah, apart from that, happy grinding, have a good week, and see you next time.
Yeah, ciao.
Bye-bye.